everyone, and welcome back to Moffat Books Presents Edge, a virtual book club where every day we give everything. Edge of your dreams. Every day, give everything. Escape, read, truth with Moffat Books. All right, I'm so excited that you are here today for episode 4. Now, before we continue, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell. That way you are notified every time a new video drops. Also, don't forget to share so we can continue to spread the word of the things that are happening here on this awesome channel. Also, consider this moment right here to be your spoiler alert because we are going to be quoting directly from the novel. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you head over to my website, moffatbooks.net, to get a copy of my very first novel, Hello, My Name Is, and I Have Daddy Issues, as well as the interactive guide, which, just as a reminder, the two of them pair perfectly together so that you, the reader, can experience the growth journey alongside the characters in the book. Today is going to be so great because it is the first time we all get to weigh in with our opinions based on some of the things that are happening in the book. And it's following journal entry number 4, which is titled, Know That Your Opinion Always Matters. And so obviously, guys, it would not be very fun if I was the only one sharing my opinion considering this book. So I have invited a very cool group of friends of mine, and I like to refer to them as the Edge Control Committee. Yes, indeed, that pun is definitely intended. These guys are faithful and they make sure your girl is always slicked down and looking good all the time. So without further ado, Edge Control Committee, please introduce yourselves.
Yes, hey, my name is Dion.
Hello, my name is Paige.
Hello, my name is David.
Hello, my name is Sammy.
My name is Torian.
My name is Vicky.
Hi, I'm Mary. Hi, I'm Anna.
Let's jump in. So just to give you a refresher, Terry, which is Cameron's now husband in the story, was pressuring Cameron to get married when they were in college, but she always felt like she had one that kind of got away. She always missed her ex-boyfriend, and she wondered if maybe she was supposed to be with him instead of Terry. So on this night where Terry pressures her to get married, she decides, I don't want this anymore. You're pressuring me. I'm out. And they get in an argument. She walks away, calls her ex-boyfriend. They have a deep discussion. And she realizes after she kisses him that he's actually not the one. So she ends up going back to Terry and asking him to propose again. And he does, even though he actually witnessed them kissing. The plot twist is that she doesn't know that he saw her kissing. So here we are all these years later and everything is coming to the surface. So here is the quote that Cameron says, I called another man to comfort me when I was vulnerable. I told that same man intimate details about my relationship. I made plans to sleep with him and I kissed him like I loved him. We may not have had sex, but in my book, what I did is just as bad, if not worse, than cheating. So we are going to have the panel weigh in on that. Did Cameron cheat?
I mean, my mom used to always say, you are single until you're married. And so maybe there's this kind of aspect that her friends are trying to explain to her is that like, there was no ring on her finger. So in some aspects, she had the right to do that. But I think to her, I think she did because she has hesitations about it and she feels bad about it. So I think that she has convinced herself that she has cheated.
Okay.
And I can see her dilemma because they did make the agreement. And so even though they technically ended things, right, even if temporarily, obviously her feelings never left. And so maybe she felt that while she still had these feelings that would ultimately be discovered to be eternal, she went and did this thing that she didn't think was considered faithful.
Okay. So even though she considers it unfaithful, in your opinion, did she actually cheat?
In my opinion, no. In my opinion, since they broke it off and like they made this, like they had whatever intimate conversation and argument that made them separate while they were separated, I don't think that what she did would constitute cheating.
Okay. Married folks, did she cheat?
Did she cheat?
I mean, I think she did. I think she did. I mean, even though I feel like that, yeah, they broke things off, but I feel like when you're on that path to getting married, there's no such thing as like breaking up, in my opinion. Like, you work it out, you figure it out, and if it wasn't a big deal, she wouldn't feel this way. So to me, it's like, okay, you feel some type of way, you cheated. It's okay. Say something and get over it.
I agree. I feel she cheated because as women, we're emotional creatures so therefore there was something that made her want to go back to the ex to see was it something still there. She still had lingering feelings. She was confused. Okay, do I want to try to test this out still, or am I going to be faithful to this guy that I just made a commitment to? So I honestly feel she cheated.
Okay.
What do you think?
I mean, my opinion here is a kind of something that has to be put in a balance. What she did is not right because she's already committed to someone.
Okay.
Whether married or not, even if it's just a relationship, she shouldn't have done that because commitment is commitment.
Okay. Mary, did she cheat?
I mean, they were on a break, right?
Yeah, they like broke up for like, so she's like, you're pressuring me too much, I'm out of here. So the night they broke up, she went and called her boyfriend, her ex.
So that makes the water a little muddy.
Yeah.
How things kind of got cut, or how they became separated. It doesn't sound like it was
Mutual.
Yeah, it wasn't like agreed upon. It wasn't like they were both under that understanding they were separated.
I just think that like if the roles were reversed and it was him doing this versus her, then people would look at it a lot differently. It would be more lighter, but because it's a woman, who, I mean, we claim that some claim that she's cheated, but did she really? Because they were not together. But I feel like if this was the guy who was caught kissing his ex right after he broke up with his girlfriend, everyone would say, no, he didn't cheat. They were broken up. But because it's a woman, it's different.
Well, do you think it's different because it's a woman?
I think it's different because it's a woman.
Okay.
Women can move on just as quickly as men can.
I think
even if she's not emotionally moving on, like I'm just saying, like she should have the same right to do so if she wants to.
I think the first person that she called though was her ex. That's what makes it weird, because you could have called close friends to talk to you in this relationship. The breakup, you can call your mom, you can call people who have been on the verge of being married before. You called this very specific person, and I think that's what makes it problematic. But I think anything else outside of that, like, is fine, because I think that if roles were reversed and he did that too, I think it would still be problematic if the first person that he called was his ex, because then it seems premeditated.
We'll be ready to say, I don't know, if it was a guy doing it, we'll be ready to say he ain't worth nothing, don't get back with him. The fact that he had his ex on speed dial, like, what does that make it? And when you guys get married, is she still going to be around? Yeah, there's definitely a double standard in terms of what girls can do versus what guys can do, in terms of like that in between situation between, okay, we've broken up or we're trying to get back together. It's like there is a double standard of what ladies and guys can do.
Yeah, so I don't personally think that she cheated, but definitely agreeing with Torian. There was something that she had built up or was thinking about if that was the first person she decided to call. But I don't think, I'm not muted. But yeah, I don't think that she cheated, because they took a break, or they were done at that point. Her calling her ex right away is definitely shady and probably not what she should have done. But also thinking of how she felt, like she personally feels like it was cheating. I think she feels it because it was an emotional thing, because the fiance or the guy she was supposed to be marrying was pressuring her and not giving her emotional needs. And this guy she called because she thinks he would do it, but then she found out that she didn't want to be with him anyway. So maybe that's what she needed. Like subconsciously, she needed to let go of that ex, and from that, she did. She found out kissing him that she didn't want to be with him. It's shady and messed up, but I wouldn't consider it cheating. It's just emotional manipulation, I guess.
Okay, so here's the other part of it. Here's the other part of that question. Terry saw them kissing the night that they broke up. He saw them kissing goodbye, and he said nothing. He just got sad and felt like, oh, she picked him. So he went back to his apartment, and she ended up coming later. She never told him that she kissed the guy, never told him she called him. And he proposed and never told her that he saw it. And now all these years later, it's bubbling up to the surface, and he's feeling a way about it. Do you think that he should have confronted her and told her what he saw, or like, was it okay for him to just kind of sweep it under the rug since he knew that he was going to marry her regardless?
It's definitely not something he should have swept under the rug, especially given, like, who was I don't remember who it was. Was it Mary or someone had mentioned that if something like this happens again in the future, then who knows what the tendency would be. It's not something that he should just sweep under and not confront, especially before making that commitment, that lifelong commitment. You can't keep that demon hiding in a closet for that long.
Yeah, I agree with him. I think that it's like, regardless of what we say, things that are not discussed will always come back. And after you've let it settle for a long, long time, it makes the conversation even harder when you want to reintroduce it into a relationship. And that's probably why they are where they are now at these crossroads.
I think he should have said something kind of on the spot, even though he knew he was going to end up proposing to her again. He should have just said something on the spot, because you don't want to go into a marriage with any type of hidden secrets or anything that can fester and manifest into something way worse.
I think he should have talked to her about it right away, because he just saw the kiss, but like it could have been more. So he didn't know without talking to her. So that's a lot to live with for a long time.
In the story, he does reveal that he, in his mind, he believes they slept together.
That's years of resentment and feeling like a runner-up.
Married folks, would y'all have gotten married if you seen each other kissing the ex?
No, I wouldn't have married him. No, I would have felt some type of way. I would have been like, so what you doing with her? So you still in love with her and all this other stuff? It would have been just too much. And honestly, I probably wouldn't have believed what he was telling me, because this is something I've seen with my own 2 eyes. Like, that would have been a hard pill to swallow. I wouldn't have just been able to be like, within the next 24 hours, okay, I will marry you. I would have had to really think about it. We would have had to reach a conclusion. Like, no, I wouldn't have been able to marry you, boo.
Nah, it would have been. All right. So here's what we're gonna do now. Okay, so you guys have to choose a side. Hashtag Cameron cheated, hashtag Cameron is innocent, or hashtag Cameron and Terry are both to blame. All right, ready, go.
They're both to blame.
Both to blame.
Both to blame.
Both to blame.
Hashtag both.
Hashtag both to blame.
Hashtag both.
All right. Well, there you have it. The Edge Control Committee has entered their verdicts, and they feel like both people are to blame. Ultimately, we know that it is up to you to communicate with your partner, and that is what's most important. As we saw in the story with Terry, he went on 6 years believing that his wife cheated on him before they got together, and he thought she actually was intimate with another man, and he never said anything about it. And vice versa, Cameron knew that she intended on being intimate with someone else, even though she didn't go all the way through with it. And she ultimately realized through the kiss that Terry was the one for her. She still did not come to him with her hands completely open and showing exactly what she had done. They both decided to keep it to themselves, and it created this long drawn out episode of miscommunication and unnecessary stress when all they had to do was talk to each other. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to jump into this conversation. I cannot wait to see whose team you're on. I'm looking forward to seeing those hashtags. Until next time, remember, every day, give everything. Scared.